how I can equate it to something that's actually watchable on TV. There are a couple of people talking about the Archons now. One show that touches on this subject without actually using the word is the show Stargate with the replicators. And the way I understand the Archons from a personal experience is that they're beings that aren't capable of feeling human emotions. So they it's kind of like reverse engineering of deification. Like they're trying to actually feel what it's like to be human instead of feeling like what it's like to be a god. Right? So that's kind of one way I could equate it. So the archons in the show Stargate, in regards to the replicators. I don't know if you're familiar with that show. Actually, came onto the planet and they started to replicate humans, but they weren't able to really feel emotion. They were only able to kind of mechanically go through what it was to be human, but they still weren't actually able to be human. So that's what the archons are kind of like in a nutshell. Is that these individuals, or not going to even say individuals, I don't even know what you would call them, uh, have to use humans as a medium in order to have an experience because they're not able to have an experience on their own, essentially. And this is what the archons are. And uh, people will be like, well, they're evil, right? They're evil. Are they good? And I was thinking about this in terms of like D&D terms, and if anything, they're chaotic neutral, right? If you're familiar with like D&D terms, the archons, if anything, they'd be like chaotic neutral because they don't really have any set uh, agenda, and they are chaotic, right? And they're not evil because they're not really making a choice to be evil, and they're not good for obvious reasons. It's just what they are. It's what they are. It's what they do. So that's one aspect of what it's actually like to experience the archons uh, in regards to out of the context of the normal context of what it's described as in various other texts, whether it be Gnosticism or any other medium. So, yeah, be sure to check out The Ignorance of the Masses. I've been busy with a few other projects. I have, let's see, been working on also on an Instagram page. I have a book that's available for pre order. I try not to mingle that too much with this, but if you do a little research, you can find the book that I have for sale. So, yeah, much love, and I appreciate it. And be sure to subscribe, like, and read, learn, and experience things for yourself because to just read a book is one thing, but to actually experience what it is in the book being read is a completely different thing. And you have to actually dissect what it is the text says. This is kind of another point I wanted to touch on within the occult. Just because there's a famous occultist doesn't mean that they are, what they wrote is actually what it is that's being done. You have to take into account that maybe the occultists even occulted what it was they were exposing, which is definitely, obviously Of course, they're occultists, right? They hide knowledge, right? That's what an occultist is. It's to hide knowledge. So you have to take into account that not only was scripture coded, because you can look at it as a person who wrote the biblical scriptures as an occultist, really. I mean, if you wanted to get down to it, uh, and anybody who rates like Crowley or Austin Osman Spare, right, or Kenneth Anger, right, or not Kenneth Anger. Yeah, Kenneth Anger. No, not Kenneth Anger. Okay, but anyways, moving on. Um, you have to actually delve into the text in a way that is going to dissect each and every small part of the text. And you have to be able to apply that in a way that's going to manifest something within you onto the physical plane, right? And that's where the Archons also come into play, because the Archons are, uh, I mean, if they do have any one type of emotion, it's jealousy, right? And the reason why I say this is because these beings are upset because they're not able to have that human experience. All right. So they do have any emotion, it would be like a strange form of jealousy that turns eventually like into like a rage that turns into something else altogether. Right. But for the most part, the archons are just doing what it is that they're programmed to do. So much love. Be sure to check out my other content. I appreciate y'all.